Hi, good morning. How are you doing today? Hi. Good to see you there. Hi. Hi. You as well. Hi, I see you. You didn't think I did, but you're there. Good morning. Oh no. This is gonna be weird. Fally, can you cheese? I'll be right back. Hold on. They're in my pants.
Yes.
Damn it, Wolby.
Convert everything over, and we started yesterday.
Wait, why are you gonna flex on some kids?
Because it's what they deserve. I had to get something to drink so I could chase this bullshit. Dude, I'm ready to be blown away. But we're gonna be honest with ourselves here. I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. Don't forget to diddle your fiddles. I am a child. We got quesadillas. We got quesadillas. We got quesadillas. This is the shit that I be talking about when I talk about how my friends are gremlins. Absolute fucking gremlins. Exclamation mark, fuck. Gotta get ready for the weekly community water parch. Tim, I don't know where Michigan is. I'm having a problem. I can't word good. I gotta make this suspenseful. The good news is I clicked the wrong button. I don't know why. It must be the drugs. I don't mean to be this aggressive. Wolby. Yeah, so they're gonna have to say.
Here we go.
And then Sammy fucking explodes. Why? I'm not precious. Okay, maybe a little. Lucky, could you do me a favor? Could you click this for me? My nose is itchy, but I've got it.
Somebody's talking shit about you.
It's probably Wolby. Hi.
Deep frog.
What you say? That you only meant well.
Hi.
There's no nicer on the ceiling here.
Cause you did. What you say? Jason Derulo. That it's all for the
Hi. Hi, everybody. I can't see you, but I can hear you breathe. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome into the stream. My name is Falinere, and I'm here to provide you entertainment and good times. And we're going to start that right now. We're going to do it right fucking now. We're doing it. Hi, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful day. My day was mediocre at best.
You so fucking precious when you smile.
Has it started yet? I don't know. Maybe. I'm gonna make a change. When Wolby gets a nice thing, I take it away. Hi, Wolby. But yes. Welcome in all you awesome people. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Chat? I'm curious. So I get that, but I don't get the YouTube chat announcement, which is weird. Mediocre best, you know the four of us can.
Hope you like rainbows.
No. We're having a good day today. My day, before I got home, was mediocre at best. Work was a thing. I didn't enjoy it, and now we're here, and I am gonna enjoy it. So yesterday we played around with the code in Falinere Fantasy. We updated some text formatting stuff. Today I want to work on something that we talked about yesterday, but that we didn't actually do. Welcome in, Casper. I'm ready to nuke this new ISP I'm not even using. Oh, Casper, I'm so sorry. Welcome to the stream, Casper Dragon Wolf. I am so sorry, Casper. Feel free to vent as much as you want about your about any ISP problems that you're having. Thank you, Film Scotland. Yes, it's not work. Actually, yeah, Coding Coffin is work. So something we talked about yesterday, not the thumbnails thing. I'm gonna do that later. I'm gonna do the thumbnails thing later. But something that we talked about yesterday. Let's do this one. Was how some of our buffs go away at the beginning of the turn. Well, we won't even say buffs. We'll say status effects. Some of our status effects go away at the beginning of the turn, and some of them, well, I want some of them to go away at the beginning of the turn and some at the end. And currently, they're all going away at the beginning, so I have to make the durations kind of weird. And I think today we're going to separate that out, where I'm going to have a beginning of turn reduction in certain stats effects and an end of turn reduction in certain stats effects. And I think I can correctly set some of the turn conditions for those. That's something that's what we're gonna mess with today. If we can get that figured out and streamlined, then what we're gonna do is say for like the steal effect on the rogue. When they steal, when they go to where they're supposed to be going, that's when I want to visually represent a buff if we're gaining it. Right now, it happens like they'll visually get the buff, and then they'll move forward, and the stuff will happen. What I want to do is have it be like when they get there, they do the thing, they get the steal. That's what I want to do. So that's something we're going to work on today as well. Those are my two core goals for today's stream, is to get both of those things working. They were supposed to install on Monday. Was up at 6 a.m. Got the confirmation call at 8:05. Confirming the appointment, they stated that they had called at 10:27, which I never received. Been glued to my seat in the office, watching the entrance to the property, and someone in the office, and they never showed up. Never saw a company. That is fucked up. Do it in the tween. Yeah, that's what I'm planning to do. I'm going to shoot out the signal in the tween. No, you're fine, Casper. We tried to do some stuff yesterday, and I messed around with class names and extending yesterday, and there was a point where I was hoping you would come in, but the fact that you didn't doesn't hurt anything. But I was hoping that you'd come in so maybe you could answer a couple questions about extending and class names. Because what I want to do is I want to separate some scripts. Because right now we have like this massive 1100 command script for the players. And I want to try to pull some stuff out and isolate them, but still have them be a part of it. Oh, Casper, can you teach Fally how to do a post request in Godot? Yeah, so Wolby wants me to... words are hard. Wolby wants me to do an API call to Twitch to send whispers. I was recovering from yesterday. No, you're fine. Well, they don't have to be whispers, though. They don't have to be whispers. That's right. I meant to fucking shave my nose hairs today. Maybe I'll stop streaming a little bit and do that. So let me... There we go. We loaded up. Project settings, display. There's something I wanted to do up here, and I don't remember where exactly it's at. Settings. Where was it at? I was gonna do this thing, and then I didn't do this thing. Damn. Okay. Yeah, okay, Okay, never mind. You basically want to do a whisper to a user about specific things. It was brought up. So what we did yesterday, if we go into our scripts and we go into the chat commands, what we did is we made a command to relay what people's skills are. So when you use this command, it checks to see what your class is, and then it relays what your individual skills are based on what class you currently are. And it posts this to the chat. It was brought up potentially posting those as a whisper instead of a message. I'm not really sure if it matters. You should be able to whisper with the IRC protocol and not have to worry about messing with post requests. Right, but I don't know how to whisper via the IRC either, unless it's literally just appending /whisper to the message. I mean, that could do it. I think we pass username. So who knows? Maybe if we do /whisper, I'm gonna do it anyway. At plus username plus there we go. See, this is something I don't know anything about. And I'm not concerned about doing it. It was just brought up. Yeah, this is not something I know anything about. So I'm not necessarily concerned about it. If it's easy to do, cool, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to have the game send whispers for certain stuff. But that's what we did yesterday. So the first thing I want to do is set up something different for when, for end of turn stuff and beginning of turn stuff, as far as like processing. It's not processing. I call it something specific. I think it's countdown. So if we go to the player sprite, status effect countdown. So we call status effect countdown, and it reduces the values. If the value becomes 0, we turn it off. What I want to do is we can run status effect countdown and then check for, I guess, 2 different things. Well, we essentially have a toggle. So we can have a, if this was sent with turn, what's a good variable for this? So we need to know what part of the turn we're on, if we're in the beginning or the end. We'll call it turn, whatever. And then we can say I don't. Fine. Okay. So let's do, because I want to keep from having like 2 different functions for this. So we'll say that beginning is it's equal to this array, and stuff that we want to count down at the beginning of the turn would be burn. It would be freeze. Defense down, we would want to count that down at the end of the turn. So that's not something I would want to do in the beginning. Bleed, we would want that to fall off at the beginning of the turn. Bind, we would want that to fall off at the beginning. Regen, we would actually want to fall off at the beginning as well. Because once that has procced, we don't need it to still be there. I don't want it to be misleading. And then what we can do here is var end is burn, freeze, defense down would be one that we would want to keep. And then we have bleed, bind, regen. DPS, essentially anything that matters for combat. We would want to keep that stuff up for the whole turn. I've got to figure out the naming convention here for my variables because they're getting kind of weird. So when we call status effects countdown, we're essentially going to be passing either start or end, I believe. Turn is either start Oh. No. Yeah, so I can do this. So I can give it a default of being end or start, whichever one, and then I just pass the other one when I want it to be the other one. Yeah, we could do that. But I don't want this to be the same. No, I guess I kind of do. To denote which things we are going to count down. Okay. So these are things I would want to go away at the beginning of the turn. These are things I would want to go away at the end of the turn. And essentially, for every effect in our status.keys, I want to write this as simple as possible. So it sends a message to the channel JTV, which is the W command to user and message. Okay. Let's minimize this. All right, so how would we utilize that? Will this be affected by slash commands being removed from IRC in February? Probably yes. Probably yes. Nose. Okay. So for every effect in Status Effects Countdown, see what I can do. I should still be able to keep this and just gate. Well, no, maybe I can't. Yeah, if I can gate this, I'm sorry. If I can gate this, then the match doesn't matter. That's why you suggested the API call. So basically, to whisper me hello, the message would be Falinere Fantasy. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I hate that. Like a lot. Yeah, I hate every aspect of that. Okay, yeah, we're not gonna do that. I think mainly because that's gonna be deprecated anyway, and there's no sense in us using that now when we're gonna have to change it later. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say, I hate nesting ifs, but this is like fucking where we're at. I understand the entire line. I do not. I do not understand that entire line. We want to say Can I do this here? If it's username with user mask on IRC server, sending message to channel JTV using the command W user message. Well, sure. But that's not going to work in like 4 months, 3 months even. So I don't think that's something that we necessarily want to use. That's what TwitchLib currently uses, but I'm checking streaming client library to see if they do it differently. Okay. If turn equals start and effect in beginning, then we want to decrease the status effect by 1. Else if turn equals end and effect in end, we want to duplicate this. Okay. So this is what we can do. We can set up our beginning. We can set up our end. We check to see if the effect is in the keys. If it's greater than 0, then we check to see if the turn is set to start and the effect is in the beginning. Otherwise, we check to see if the turn is at the end and the effect is in end. In either of those cases being true, we decrease that status effect down by 1. And then we check to see if the effect is, there we go. And then we check to see if the effect is at 0. If it is, we remove it and we match. They're using HTTP post to API, so it should be fine for the changeover. Since I'm using that, the bot shouldn't be any problems. Okay. All right. If we want to, we may give a toggle setting in the settings that allows people to have those sent as whispers or to go directly to the chat. We'll kind of leave that up to the player. What did I need thumbnails for again? Oh, here. I will show what I was thinking. Go to this, go to playlists, and there it is. I don't want to play it, but there we go. Okay. So this right here. So currently, all of my streaming with Sammy thumbnails, which I like the base thumbnail, but I want to change up how the thumbnails are essentially arranged, you know? Wait, why is... Remove that from the playlist. I don't know why that was there. Okay. Yeah, so I want to change these thumbnails up. I have ideas like for arrays, I was thinking about having like an actual array of a couple different words. For objects, I was thinking about having like an actual dictionary. Just ways to spice up the thumbnails and improve them, make them look like they're like part of a cohesive unit, but still make them independently recognizable. You know what I mean? So that's something that I'm probably going to be working on this weekend, is adjusting my thumbnails to look better for this series and build something of a template that I can craft individual unique thumbnails from. That's the thing. That's the thing. Okay. So I'm interested in testing this. And I think I'm doing literally the same thing here. I am. Okay. So yeah, I just need to copy the match effects and have them the same for the players and enemies, because we could have, well, I don't think I want to create a situation where a player gets provoked. Probably not something we'll worry about. But I can copy everything and have that work for the enemies the same way I've got it for the players. So let's see if we can test this and make it work. And what that's going to require is for us to open the combat scene. I'm going to go in as a rogue and just keep stealing, hoping that we can get the DPS buff. And if the DPS buff works, for the rogue, it's gonna cause a problem, because when the rogue's turn ends, they're immediately gonna lose their DPS buff. Fuck. Falfanbot online. Welcome to the stream, Falinere Fantasy. Okay, I need to find a way to explicitly... Hey Smurf, how you going, buddy? Good morning, and also, good morning. Hope you're having a great day. Actually, I think I want this to default to start, and we'll call end in specific situations. Which means now we actually do need to call that, though. When do we want to call status effects countdown? Crap, now I gotta figure this out. So if we do this right, DPS does not have to get set to 2 turns. We can set it to 1 turn. I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. We are playing with a way to process doing status effect countdowns at the beginning of the turn, at the end of the turn, because there's certain effects that I want to happen and then disappear off the status effect list for that person at the beginning of the turn. And there's effects that I want to disappear off the list at the end of the turn. Like, if you have a DPS buff, I want that DPS buff to fall off when your turn ends, not fall off when your turn starts. So I'm crafting a new way for this function to operate that will do what I want, but I have to call it at the end of the turn. So... we need to look for skill used, and that appears 8 times. In our fake turn pass, we want to call what is this thing called? What is this function? Status effects. Okay, status effects countdown, and we're gonna pass end to it, because that's going to be an end of turn thing. Where else are we getting this? We're getting it at the end of the steel animate. At the end of the steel animate. Oh, interesting. Okay. I don't know if... I think I have to put this after the fact. We're gonna find out here, because this one could be weird with the tween callback. How is the ducky taking over? The ducky? I am very confused. I don't know if I need to do a tween callback here. I kind of feel like I do. But we're gonna call status effects countdown, and we're gonna pass end to it. Wait, hold on. What were you... Okay, so it defaults to start, so I just have to pass end. Okay, where else are we calling emit signal skill used? For melee attack, we're doing that, so status effects, countdown, end. For AoE attack, we're doing the same thing. Status effects countdown. End. Okay. And item has been saved to your inventory. Status effects countdown. Well, it doesn't really matter. I don't know why I'm emitting skill used in both of these. Oh, because we don't use skill used if it hits the third one. That makes sense. Okay. So in 2 of these ifs, we will emit skill used, but in the third one we won't, so we can't just default to it. And then this would also pass end. Okay. And I think we're good there. I mean, technically we can do like this, but that's fine. Okay, yep, we're good there. All right, so we'll see how this goes. I assume because it ends at the end of the turn, the opponent doesn't play against it, and if it ends at the start of your turn, the opponent has to deal with it during their phase before yours starts. No, it's actually more of just a visual thing. So if I'm burned, that burn has a turn duration because we're doing turn-based combat. At the beginning of my turn, I would take that burn damage, and if the number of turns that lasts has ended, I want that to go away right then, which is how I set every status effect, whether it's a buff or a debuff, to disappear. So for a regen, at the beginning of your turn, you'll get the health from that regen, and then if the regen duration is over, it goes away. That lets you know if I want more regen, I have to do it now to get that regen stats reapplied. Versus if everything went away at the end of the turn, I wouldn't know if I have another actual turn of regen until my turn ended, and then we check to see if it goes away. So there are effects I want at the beginning of the turn to go away, and there's effects at the end of the turn I want to go away. So if I have an attack boost, I don't want to know at the beginning of the turn if that visually goes away, but I still have it. I need to know that. But also, if it's not my turn and I have that marker, and then it goes to my turn and that marker goes away, it's unclear whether or not I have it now, or why I had it then but don't have it now. So if we have that status disappear at the end of the turn, it makes more sense for the players. So I'm just separating when we're gonna call that function, and I'm separating what that function will apply to depending on when we're calling it. So we call the function, we default with start. So if when we're calling it is start, and the effect that we have is in the beginning list, then we reduce that effect, and if it becomes 0, then we make it go away. Otherwise, I can call this effect, I can call this function, and pass end as a string, and then if the turn is end and our effect is in the end array, which I could call that anything, I'm just bad at naming my variables, then we would count those down. So my defense down, I want that to last until the end of my turn. The DPS buff, I want that to last until the end of my turn. But burning, freeze, bleed, blind, regen, I want stuff like that to go away at the beginning of my turn, so it's not something I have to worry about. Firebird Doge, welcome in. Hi. Hi. Oh, it caught it caught. It caught the blurry frame, I'm sorry. Hi there, everybody. Firebird Doge, welcome in. I hope I'm saying your name right. I'm trying really, really hard at it. Welcome in, Raiders. How's everyone doing today? My name is Falinere. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm a game developer working on the coolest game that you will ever play in Twitch chat and YouTube chat and Glymesh chat. If If you have any questions about it, please let me know because we're about to do a little bit of testing in just a moment. But welcome in. Lots of stuff are happening. Firebird, I am unfamiliar with you as another streamer, so please feel free to introduce yourself, introduce your community, tell us a little bit about you, maybe how you found us. And again, if you have any questions about anything we're doing, feel free to hop that in there as well. Also, make sure you take the opportunity to get some water. Take a little bit of a rest. Streaming is hard work, and if you can't hang out, that's perfectly fine. No pressure, okay? But yeah, so we're going to test out this function, and we're going to see if it works. So I want some of these effects to go away at the beginning of the turn, and I want these particular effects to go away at the end. Now, the reagent effect would have to be applied by a druid, whereas the DPS up, which I could call DPS up, but I'm not. The DPS up is going to be applied from the rogue. So that's what I'm going to be testing as the rogue. If anyone wants to come in as a druid and test the reagent effect, you can. Fail with the Pokemon Twitch game? Hell yeah, I hope you're enjoying it. Been lurking here a couple times trying to learn some stuff, and I think it's the first time I've actually talked. It is, and I'm so glad to have you here. I hope you're enjoying the Pokemon game. If you have any feedback, definitely throw that back at me. But right now, I think the Pokemon game's in a pretty solid spot that I don't have to push out any like new patches and stuff. Hello, everyone. If you would, I've got a lot of lurkers right this second, but if y'all are here, give Firebird some love. Valley, I've sent you a couple images for thumbs. Ooh, I love thumbs. Ooh, interesting. Oh, I really like that, Burge. Like, I like that a lot. Okay, I may need to talk to you. I might need to talk to you. Not actual thumbs on hands. That's fair. Not a second, but after stream, could you hook me up with Git access to FalFan repo so I can do tests, making sure my code works? Yes. If I can't do that, Casper, I will give permission to Arrow for you to access that. I have no qualms with that. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump into a round of combat. So we're gonna go directly into the combat scene. For anyone that wants to participate, you will have to select a class first before you join. The classes are Druid, Alchemist, Engineer, Bard, Warrior, Rogue, and Wizard. Sorry, I have nose hair problems. You can change to any of those classes, and you can join in on the combat with us. So I'm gonna F6. I'm going to exclamation mark class Rogue to make sure that I am in fact a rogue. Interesting, I didn't get any feedback for that. Class? Okay, there we go, okay. And then join. Yeah, it's weird. I think my first message being attempting to change a class was not great. There we go. So, the cool thing about this game, other than it being played completely through Twitch chat, is that it is played completely through Twitch chat. So the streamer opens up the game, and then their community, their viewers, will be the ones that played the game. The streamer just kind of like hosts it, right? The information that the game saves, so your levels, your classes, your inventory, is global. So if the streamer that you're watching finishes playing the game, they end their stream or they raid into someone else playing the game, as soon as you chat into that new person's stream, all of your classes, your levels, your experience, your inventory, everything is then loaded into that streamer's game, and then you can pick up where you left off. So you don't have to worry about grinding in individual streamers' chats. It's global. Everything carries over anytime you chat in someone else's stream that has the game open, which is super awesome. The commands are very, very simple. I wanted the game to be as accessible as possible. That response message was very, very late. Like very... Hold on. No, that's Casper, that's your response. Why is it not giving me response messages? I don't understand. Because I stole, just like Casper did, and it did damage. It should have said something about it. Anyway, the commands for this game are very simple. Yeah, you're good, Phil. You're good. Keep on going. I want the game to be super accessible for people that may have difficulty typing or for people that are on mobile. So the commands essentially boil down to skill name, A, B, C, D, E, and F, and then who we're affecting with it. We don't have experience as an actual buff. I did damage with mine randomly. But it should have said the rogue placed something in somebody's pocket, something like that. So I'm going to go for a steal again. Am I not a rogue? It's treating me like I'm... How am I an alchemist? How? Explain this to me. How am I an alchemist? Okay, never mind. I'm an alchemist. That's what I am now. Casper, you're going to have to test this out with steals. I got baited. All my skills are literally the same because we have not coded in the alchemist yet. So it doesn't really matter what I do. All of mine they functionally are identical. Yeah, so Casper, just keep on stealing. We're hoping to get a DPS buff. The DPS buff will appear immediately, but what we're checking for is when the turn ends, does the DPS buff go away? Does the icon disappear? Is what we're looking for. And if I die, I die. It's fine. But yeah, so sure, A space E1. So what we're doing, fine, B space E1. There we go. So what we're doing is we're choosing between A, B, and C skills. They're all different. They're all uniquely, they all do different things. So your A, B, and C skill will have various effects depending on what class you are. And if it's an effect that does something to an enemy, then you would say A space E1 for enemy 1, E2 for enemy 2, E3 for enemy 3, or B for the boss. So A space E3 would use your A skill on enemy 3. If it's a skill that affects another player, then you would do B, or whatever the letter is, space P1 through 8, whichever player it is you wanted to affect. So if I had a single target healing effect that I could use, and I wanted to heal player 2, if the skill was your C skill, then I would do C space P2, and it would do that healing effect affecting player 2. And the game would check to make sure that player 2 is alive to then do that effect. Lots and lots of words. Film Scotland, it is your turn. No, you're fine, dude. You're fine. No worries. No rush. I'm just making sure. People have a tendency to tab out sometimes. That's perfectly fine. I just want to make sure if you're listening that you know when we came back to your turn. I have a tendency sometimes to like stop mid-combat and like delve into a piece of the code. Oh, dude, eat your dinner. You are perfectly fine. You are perfectly fine. So I actually think we killed this guy, depending on what Casper gets here. Okay, so there's our DPS boost, and this is what I was worried about, is the rogue is not actually getting the DPS boost. So they're giving it to the party, but they themselves don't have access to it. So I've got to figure out what I can do. Yeah, right there at the end, though. Okay, so this is working. Is it? Did that work? Was the damage calculation done before? It should have been. It should have been. So if we go to like the warrior, We do damage calculation, we do melee attack. Melee attack would then trigger all of this and status effect countdown. Yes, okay. So, yeah, that'll work. So the icon for the damage buff disappears before you start moving, but you still have it. The damage has already been calculated with that buff in mind. So that should be good. Okay. So we actually won. That's a good thing. Now what we have to figure out is how can we ensure that the rogue maintains the buff for them without extending an extra turn for everyone. And I think I know how to do that. It's kind of cheeky, but I think I know how to do that. So whenever we steal a catalyst, I think it's the top one, right? Team damage buff, stolen thing. Okay. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Just need to lurk for a bit. No worries, Smurf. I appreciate you being here. Now I agree. We need to make sure that that damage buff is being applied. So we are going to probably put a print to ensure that the damage is being modified. But we'll check on that. What I want to do here is before we emit the signal, I want to apply the buff specifically. I want to apply the buff specifically here. So what we want to do is when we're calling team buff, we're actually calling apply buff. So let's do that a second time. Actually, a first time. We're going to call apply buff, and we're going to pass DPS. Actually, what? Effect and value. Okay. So we're going to apply DPS, and the value is going to be stolen thing. Okay. This should give it an extra time to the thief that applied it. That way, at the end of their turn, they'll lose 1, but the emit signal will actually have added 2 to that player. So we can actually test that out. Now let's go to calculating damage. Damage calculation. And what we want to do is right here, we're going to print potency. And then down here, we're going to print potency, which was increased from DPS boost. I want to make sure we're doing this right, because it may not actually be called damage bonus. It may be called DPS. So I want to make sure that this isn't an extra key that we somehow have in here and that I typed all of this stuff in wrong. Okay. Let's F6. We're going to open this up. New color code for damage? What do you mean? Blah, 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 blah. Class Rogu. Falinere is now a Rogu. Join. No, I don't think we need a color code for empowered damage, because we have lots of ways to empower damage, if that's what you're talking about. I think having... Yeah, because there's lots of different ways we can buff damage. So that would give us like a cornucopia of color values, and I think that would just confuse people. But maybe having like... Well, no, because again, like, you wouldn't know what you're being buffed for, so you wouldn't know if you're missing out on it or not. Because we could say, like, blue damage values are buff damage, and orange damage values like a crit buff. But it's hard to know, like, if you get the DPS buff, from the NPC, so it lasts every fight in the dungeon. You never know if you're getting the applied damage boost from other stuff. So I hope that makes sense. I think it does. B space E1. Okay, so there's my damage. So the damage was 10. C space E1, 66 on the critical. Very nice. Yeah, so it was 35, but with the critical, it hit 66. Really? With a critical, it hit 66? Hold on, that's... Ravi! 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 Hi, friend. Hi there. How's everybody doing? Give me just a second. So 35 times 1.5 should have been 52. How did you do that much damage? Is base damage. Now I'm confused. Now I'm confused. How you did that much damage. Ravi, welcome in. You are special. And I mean that like in a good way. Welcome in, Raiders. I hope y'all had an amazing time in Rav's stream. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Falinere. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm a game developer that's making the coolest game that you will ever play on Twitch. Also YouTube, also Glymesh. I say YouTube because YouTube's over here, and I say Glymesh because I don't have any monitors over there, but I'm thinking about them in like that general direction. But now I am confused as to how my friend here did this much damage. So if it's 35 times 1.2 times 1.5, does it think you have this? I don't like doing what I'm about to do. Print potency. Sorry, we're in the middle of doing some coding, and I'm kind of jumping topics really fast. Potency plus after increase from DPS in PC. Okay. I don't think I messed up any math. I just think some shit happened. I think some shit happened. Okay. I've been reading a text RPG and I'm so tired of reading it. I'm so sorry. You don't have to read any of this. We are currently playing a game. See, this is us playing a game. I tried to steal from the enemy and it fucking failed. So we ain't taking nothing today. Why did that result? Why did it not like that? Oh, my God. Yeah. Okay. I didn't even think about that. All right, let's just really fast do some of this. And save and continue. Okay. C space E1. Can we get... $35 is the base damage. Why did you hit for 43? Why are my numbers weird? Film Scotland, how did you do that? Hold on. What are your... Film, what class are you? Engineer, okay. So it said that 35 is the base damage. It was not a critical, and yet he dealt like 43 damage. Damage dealt should be a value. Yeah, he dealt 43 damage. I'm trying to figure out how 35 was the base value, but it somehow got increased to 43. Oh, no, you're right. There's a variable range applied to it. No, you're 100% right. That's absolutely right. So in damage calculation, we have our potency, but I'm not accounting for the actual damage value with the range applied to it. Yeah, no, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. Okay. Yes, I'm kind of a numpty. Yeah. Well, we just got a critical that didn't make any sense. But what we're trying for, Demadden, what's going on, buddy? We are working on Falinere Fantasy. Right this second, we are testing to make sure that when a player has the damage bonus, the DPS damage up status effect, that we are actually getting that increase. So I'm trying to steal a damage bonus, and it's not happening yet. That's what we're working on. Does it not make sense now, though, Fally, with the 15% variation? It does. Yeah. It makes sense. Well, it makes maybe a little less sense. That's why I'm trying to see if I can get the DPS buff, if we're actually hitting it, because I don't think we're hitting that if statement that increases the damage based on the buff multiplier. I mean, lurking and play Apex in the background. I appreciate that lurk, Demadden. Thank you so much. And I did that without paying attention, taking apart. Why are you taking apart a Wii? Film Scotland, can you try that command one more time? I think I was, I did something that made it not go through. It's my fault. Hi, Blake. So you got a +7 on that. All right, B space E1. Let's get a DPS boost. I stole a catalyst. Sure. It is hard to get these DPS boosts. The steal is so unpredictable.
Hey, look!
To clean the dust bunnies out, that's fair. No, you are unpredictable. I really am. Come on, get a DPS bonus. Impure catalyst. Okay. We may have to force a DPS bonus here just to make this work. Even if I do land this DPS buff, well, if I do right here, damn experience. Okay, Phil, we may have to just retest this one. We may have to retest this one. Yeah. Let's close it and reopen it. Anyone that wants to join, you're absolutely welcome to. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to kill it, Film. I'm sorry. Join. Okay. Yeah, anyone that wants to join, you're welcome to. The more players that we have in here, the harder it is for the enemy to kill any one particular person. Film, you don't have to use an exclamation mark. It works. It works without it. Well, for now. There will be a point where you will have to use an exclamation mark, or a different command character. I know it's habit. Oh, that's perfect then. No worries. Meatstick, you won't be able to join this one because the timer just ended, but you can still set a class. That way, the next time we hop in, you can join. Class meat. There is no meat class. There is no meat class. Hi, babe. You are correct. I did not feed the kitties.
Oh god, the state of your quesadilla.
Is it rough? What the fuck? Are you sure they didn't just get this back from someone else that decided they didn't want it after they took it home?
I don't know.
I have Casey. Okay, there's the DPS boost. Okay, now. It still didn't work because Oh, they didn't work for either one of us. Okay, so DPS is not working. The DPS boost is not working properly. Let's fix that. How do I know? How do I check what classes there are? Exclamation mark classes? I had to remember. But our classes are Druid, Alchemist, Engineer, Bard, Warrior, Rogue, and Wizard. Okay. So let's figure out what the DPS boost is. Super Meatstick is now a warrior. Hell yes. Okay. So how are we applying this? When we go to Steel, we are applying two different things. We are emitting the signal team buff, which is going to be triggering apply buff, and we're sending it DPS and stolen thing. So when we go to apply buff, it's further down. Okay, so when we go to apply buff, we see effect and then value, which normally is going to be 0. If the effect is already in your status effects, you don't get anything. Otherwise, if the effect is DPS, then we're going to give you the status effect damage bonus. Interesting. So we're going to set DPS to true. We're going to set... I'm sorry, what?
4 adult cats just hanging around on the steps, just like...
Oh, yeah? We're going to give you 2 different status effects. One is an effect called DPS. And the other is the bonus that you're getting from having the DPS. I'm gonna call this DPS up. We're not doing that yet. So what we're looking for, I can see now why this isn't working. So if we go to, where is damage calculation? Damage bonus is always going to be in status effects. We actually should be looking for DPS. If DPS is in your keys, this is what we want. If DPS is in your keys, then we want to multiply with the new status effect. So what we're looking for is string potency, which was increased from DPS boost amount of space plus stringified this, whatever this is as a string. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. Class Meat Warrior, there you go. You had a DPS as another name. Yeah, no, you're fine. I separated them out. It's not the best way to do it, but it's gonna be fine. I don't know if this is actually gonna work now the way I want it to. We're gonna see. Thank you, baby. I'm also probably gonna turn my camera off for a couple minutes so I can eat this quesadilla. Because this quesadilla has really got me hunkering. So because of the damage variance being as high as it is, being a plus or minus 15, you actually did double damage because you crit, even though crit's supposed to be a 1.5 multiplier. I think I need to lower the variance value in damage calculation, because giving it plus or minus 15 is like really fucking high. Let's lower this down to like 7. It's way too high. Okay. B space E1. Can we get... We had an impure catalyst. Okay, sure. Well, shit. Okay, this isn't opening like I wanted it to.
Need napkins or anything?
Yes. I will need napkins, absolutely. B space E1. Oh, it's not my turn yet. Okay, now it's my turn. B space E1. We got our DPS boost. I don't have it, but I guess that's fine. Unlimited power. Okay. You're going to show us here, Film Scotland, if this is working. Okay. So we set the value to 0, which is not what we wanted. Okay. So the value of status effects damage bonus was 0. So when we multiplied it by our potency, it zeroed that out. And then our range was a +3. So why is status effects damage bonus coming up 0? Let's see. If we go back to steel, no, it would be apply buff. If we apply buff, am I not using this correctly? Copy. Damage calculation. Status effect damage bonus. No, that's right. Okay, what we're gonna do, because you technically still have status effects damage bonus in your status effects. So let's take a look at it. Why did we set it to 0? We should have... Okay. In steel, damage bonus should be this value, which means stolen thing, which is what we're passing as the value that we're increasing. Were we passing the wrong thing the whole time? No, because stolen thing times 100. Okay, I want to see this. I want to save here. Give me a breakpoint. No. We don't need dot value. Dot value is when we're looking at a node that has a value property. We would go node dot value to access that property. These are variables that we've added. But if this node had scale, so this node has a scale to it. So if we accessed node.scale, then we could affect the X and Y size. That's what that is. B space E1 can... Okay, that's a steel phone. When I get a DPS buff, we're gonna hit a breakpoint and it's gonna yell. And we're gonna do some stuff. This is a giant, almost cut quesadilla. Okay. Come on, DPS buff? Okay. We'll have to go through another round. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to close this. We're going to save the script. We're going to reopen it. Anybody that wants to join, you have 50 seconds. All you got to do. I don't think it's actually listening. It's not. Okay. Close this. F6. Let it post the message. There we go. Now I can move the window. Blah, 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 blah. And join. Okay. Yes, Super Meat Stick, you can now join. You are a warrior, I think. I think you're a warrior. You're not a meat warrior, but you're a warrior. Thank you, sweetheart. I tell you right fucking now, this song hits the spot. Oh my god. He's a super meat warrior mecha Gundam. Oh my god. Okay. B space E1. Bring this back down. I got a potion. We're just gonna save it. Hold on just a second. Okay. There we go. All right, so my turn. B space E1, DPS buff, another potion. I'm gonna use that on P1 and get a heal. Fantastic.
Oh no. Steam got rid of where you could just put text in the custom text in the state as to be like a year.
Yeah, that's why mine is that way. I was gonna put like to be announced middle of 2023, whatever. I had to actually put a date.
Yeah, because the guy who's doing Little Kitty Big Kitty has cats don't have deadlines. Now we've got to change it. Okay.
We're gonna get this damn thing to proc without me having to force it. I apologize, y'all. This is gonna be like a messy fucking quesadilla, but it's so good. I've been looking forward to this thing all day.
All day, you mean?
Yesterday? Yes. As soon as you said something yesterday, I knew you were gonna try again today. Come on, DPS boost, let's go. Come on. Film, are you a druid right, or not a druid? You're an engineer right now, right? Okay. For the purposes of testing, when we go back into this again, can you swap over to a rogue so we can both try to fish for DPS buffs? I think it might make it a little bit easier. These DPS buffs are rough to get right now.
One of today's greatest marketing triumphs in the entertainment field is video games. It's a business which has tripled in size in just 3 years. Ron Endron went out in the field to bring us this special report.
Okay. Okay, you died. That sucks. Because it's not going to work for me, so we actually have to close this. Oh wait, no. I can still test the breakpoint to figure out why I'm not getting it a second time. There's the breakpoint. Okay, I think we got it. No, it's mad about banishing pod. Invalid get index banishing pod on base dictionary. Does inventory not have... Hold on. Inventory, reagents, common, vanishing pod. Oh, he did it differently in the API. Okay. I did not realize this. All right. That kind of explains some shit. Okay. I didn't realize that you, camel case. I didn't realize you camel case this, Casper. I will fix that. Does that mean that Phoenix Plume is also, not reagents, catalysts? No, stop it. Reagents, uncommon. Okay, everything is camel case. Okay. I did not realize that. Gotta have him Aegis nut. Okay. Alright, so I got a banishing pod. He hit me. Can we get the B space E1? Can we get the DPS buff? I hit a breakpoint. We got the DPS buff. Let's finally fucking go. Okay. So currently in the remote tree, oh, that's tomorrow. Okay, thank you. In the remote tree for me, where is not applied status? Status effects. So currently I have no status effects. This is right here is what we're looking for. Sorry, I thought it. Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. I did it a different way. You were doing it, and there's nothing wrong with that. We got it fixed now. Okay, so we want to call apply buff. It matches. We go to DPS. We're going to set status. We're creating one called damage bonus, applying a value to it, and then we're creating one called DPS and applying a value to it. So now in status effects, we have DPS being 0. Why is it 0? Okay, that's what I should have been looking at. Go back. Okay, why is stolen things? Oh, I set it to int, didn't I? Okay, no, this makes sense. This makes sense. So apply buff is not an int, it's a float. Float is 0.0. Okay, this makes sense. If I set it to a float, it should set the value properly, and we should be fine. Now, why don't I have 2 instances of a DPS buff? So, let's close it, open it up again. Film, if you would, double up with me as a rogue. Class Rogu. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Class Rogu. There we go, and join. There you go. Hop on in with me. We're gonna be rogue buddies. This way we can fish for DPS buffs a little faster. And I can figure out why we're not getting the buff stacking like we wanted to. Just in time, feeling unwell, was getting some. Oh, that's fair. No, dude, if you need to go, you're perfectly fine. You are absolutely fine. I appreciate you being here, but you have no requirement being here, especially if you don't feel good. I actually got the DPS buff right off the bat. So we're going to go to apply buff. We're going to give myself the DPS buff. So now, if we go to status effects, I now have DPS, essentially 1 turn of it, with a damage bonus of 0.2, which is going to be 20%. It's going to multiply that number incorrectly, I can already tell. But for now, this is working. So once we have applied buff, then we're going to emit our signal. It should still be on me. This is player 1. Okay. So now... Oh, if effect is in status effects. Oh. Damn. Okay. That's why it didn't work. Oh, it's the flu? Oh, dude, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, this isn't gonna work. Also, in damage calculation, we want to multiply it by this value times 100. So we're going to take status effects, multiply it by 100, and then that's going to be our multiplier, essentially, for potency, and then we're going to multiply that. So that we're going to save. I don't know how... I don't, like, it's doable. We can do it. I'm just trying to figure out how to effectively do it. Where the rogue is going to have access to their own DPS buff. Not quite man flu. It's said to be 1 times worse than normal flu and only affects males. Fair enough. I'm curious. When do we turn steel off? Or is that something we don't do anymore? When we steal, where's the steal function? Oh, we were in it. Okay. So when we go into steel, where's the rogue function? Rogue function. Oh, we don't have like a boolean that knows if we stole. Okay. It's a little goodie bag I got from work. I put it in the fridge so that the chocolate would not melt. Okay. I need a way to make an exception. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. In fucking... I don't like this. I really don't. In apply buff, we're just gonna say steel equals false. If effect is in status effects, blah blah blah, whatever. If it's not in status effects, then we want to if steel equals true. Wow, I am just having a hard time with my nose right now. Give me a minute. Right after I finish coding this, we're gonna do those things. Copy effect specifically DPS. No, well, not effect DPS, but just DPS. If still is true, then we're going to increase DPS by 1, and then when we go down here, we're going to increase DPS again. So when we do the steal function here, and we apply DPS stolen thing, we're just going to pass true. And then for apply buff, Yeah. If steal equals true, then we'll do that. Otherwise, steal's always going to be false, and we don't have to worry about this. It's just an extra little thing we're adding in, and it should do what we want. So, B space E1, we'll see if we can kind of... Oh, that's right. We're break pointed right now. Okay, let's keep on going. Oh, Cool, I did that twice. That's fine. All right, B space E1. I accidentally skipped your turn, Film. I'm very, very sorry. I duly apologize, but I was able to input 2 commands in that very small frame of time, and it allowed me to skip your turn. I think I got my steal and your steal. How preposterous. I agree. It's absolutely like bonkers. Yeah, you should. Please don't riot. Please don't riot. So I don't know if you noticed there, but when you stole, your turn wasn't over yet, so you still had the DPS buff. But because you hadn't finished your turn by saving or using the potion, you still had the DPS buff. And when you used the potion on yourself, that's when the DPS buff went away. So we got that part working. I just need it to apply to me, the person that gets the DPS buff. Sure, we'll go P1. I'll heal myself real fast. Hey, there's the DPS buff that you don't have. Okay, so what I need to do now is I need to check your combat statuses. Not combat status. Or stats. I need your status effects. Filter properties, status effects. So you have a damage bonus value, but you don't have an fuck, I need to... Okay. I guess I need a breakpoint on this again. Alright. We're breakpointing on it again. B space E1. I got an impure catalyst. Let's see. I'm surprised you don't have 3 stacks yet. There's the DPS buff. Why didn't we get a breakpoint? Does it not remember? Does it not remember that I wanted to breakpoint right there? Do you not remember, game? Okay, we breakpointed that time. All right, I need to figure out why I don't have what I want. So currently my DPS is set to 1 because I already have it. Interesting. We're gonna call it, if I already have the effect, I won't get, ooh, that's interesting. I won't get it. And then we pass it again. Okay. All right, fair enough. This needs to go above it. All right. No, if I put it above it, then... shit, if I put it above it, then it never works. Okay. Interesting collision of effects. Okay, so I can't actually test this one because I already have it. Which means if you get it now, then you won't get to keep it because you have mine. There you go for the triple hit. Oh yeah, you can't just use D. Yeah, you only have access to your A, B, and C skills. So you would have to do C space P1 or C space E1 to use your C skill. You're not a high enough level to use your D skill yet. Damn it, Film. You think you're funny. You think you're funny. C space, there you go. 700 damage. How the fuck? Oh, I multiplied it by 100, not by 10. Right? Because 0.2 times 10 is... Yeah. No. Hold on. How do I not know how to do this? Player sprite. Damage calculation. If I multiply it by... Oh, it's just +1. Not multiplied by 100. It should just be +1. That's me. I'm also the dummy. So he is well beyond dead, but somehow the game hasn't told us that we've won yet. I'm very curious what's happening here. Enemy, how are you attacking right now? Film, how did you die? Yeah, I was multiplying it by a value when I should have just been adding 1. Adding 1 makes it the 1 point X multiplier that I wanted. Yeah, so right now, enemy list only has E1 in it. When we attack the enemy, on hit, if health bar dot value is less than or equal to 0, it equals 0 and we remove them from the list. I don't know how we've somehow skipped over this. So I'm gonna save that. We're gonna breakpoint there. Yeah, we are checking to see if it is lower. I want to make sure we catch that part as well. A space E1, C space E1, get the triple hit. Okay, now we breakpointed exactly where I wanted to be. You have 1. There we go. Okay, why that didn't hit last time? Couldn't tell you. No idea. No fucking clue. All right. So, what we've got to figure out now is we need for the only time that the rogue gets to use their DPS buff or gets to maintain theirs is if they don't already have a DPS buff. If the rogue already has a DPS buff and they steal and get another one, they don't get to use theirs because of the way we've coded it. I think the best way to do this, I didn't want to do this, is if they already have that status effect, I don't want them to get it again. That's why I have if effect exists in status effects, we just exit. So if you have a regen effect and you have another regen effect applied on top, the second one just doesn't do anything. And I think what we have to do is just nix that. So no matter what, if you have an effect, you can have that effect applied on top of you again. Now the question then becomes, do we keep this for debuffs? Because currently I have the same thing. If you are debuffed, you cannot get that debuff again until it falls off. And I think this makes sense. So if you're burned or frozen or defense downed, you can't have that applied again until that finishes its duration. And then you can have it applied again. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. This does not matter. Take it out. Save. And I'll add that to the daily list. Today's daily list. 10. Let's add a space in here. 10/26/2022. There we go. All status effects can be, let's move this mic out of the way, reapplied regardless of current duration. Now, something I have to be careful about that with is apply buff and apply debuff. Okay, so I did this correctly. Instead of increasing it, I set it. So regen effect would get set to 3 turns. DPS would get set to 1 turn. Damn. Okay, the way I'm doing this now doesn't work, specifically for making sure that the rogue has access to theirs. Shit. Because we're setting it to 1, and then we're setting it to 1 again. Damn it. Alright, how am I going to make it to where the rogue can maintain theirs? Because I don't want to set it, I don't want to increase it by 1 every time they do it. Oh, well then, never mind. We'll just do it this way then. If we set it below, then we can just say plus equals. Because at this point, if steal is true, then we know we're affecting DPS. The DPS value is going to exist anyway. Actually, I kind of do like it with the space there. Yeah, and then if steal is true, we'll just increment that up by 1. That's fine. We'll do it that way. We'll test it one more time. F6 to load the game up. Make sure it posts the message before we move the window.
Look.
Apple hack! I just realized you're using Godot for this. I am. Wait, Did I not? I could have swore I told you that. Maybe I didn't. If I did not, that is my fault. But welcome in, Apple. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Feel free to chat with us as much as you have time for. I'm not gonna sit here and eat your time, I promise. But feel free to take a look and see what we've got and ask some questions and stuff. So this is the combat scene. As people join, their class sprite would appear on screen on the right hand side. Their Twitch or YouTube profile pictures would appear in the middle, and of course we'd have like a profile picture for whatever the enemies are, which are represented on the left hand side. Oh, well, that's completely fair. I hope that that works for you then, because it's important to have the right meds and to be on them. I took a lot of screenshots from Godot, but I may not have explicitly stated that that's where it came from. Okay, so we'll do B space E1. What we're testing here is the Rogue's Steal ability. So our character will animate from their position to the enemy. We will steal something, and then they'll animate back to their starting position. And I got an experience multiplier. I didn't get the DPS buff that we wanted. And you also got an experience multiplier. Fuck yeah, let's go. So the idea here is that when the player moves, they would, I don't know, maybe like assume some moving position, whether it's like a dashing animation or something, and they'd move from here to there. We would play the animation for their skill. They get damage values, and then we just move them back. B space E1, can we get this? No, I got a potion. We'll go P2 and just use it on Film Scotland. There we go. B space E1, there we go. Film, I don't know what you got or didn't get. Okay, so we got our breakpoint. That means we hit the... Okay, that means we got our DPS buff. So let's play it out. Oh, damn it. Okay, hold on. Don't go just yet. I need to check the remote tree. I need to know what status effects are for myself. Okay, no, damn. Okay, maybe I do need to play through it. Film got a multiplier. Okay, so damn, still failed. Okay, let's see if we can land another. See if we can land another DPS buff. I want it to where I want to make it to where when the rogue steals, that they still get their next turn that they can use that buff on it. Yeah, keep on going. Yeah, feel free to use that potion. We'll keep ourselves alive while we just fish. There we go. Ooh, the critical though. Holy shit. Nope, still failed. All right. We're not really getting anywhere on this, are we? We are getting somewhere if you keep pulling potions like that. I'll tell you that much. There you go. A little bit of damage. Not too bad. We're not winning the race, but we're not necessarily losing either. If this was a real fight, this is an 18% experience multiplier for this fight, which is pretty good. Now, we're not going to win because we're not doing any damage. Never mind. 24% experience multiplier. That's kind of amazing. If I could land a steal, honestly, I would be useful to you. But I'm not landing anything. Let's change this music up just a little bit. We'll do this one. Did you get another experience multiplier? Holy shit, dude. B space E1. Okay, we got our DPS buff. So I need... So we have apply buff currently in status effects. I have the damage bonus value, but I don't have the DPS buff, so that bonus damage value doesn't do anything. So we're gonna say if the effect is DPS, then the value gets replaced. Then we add status effect value. So now we have DPS. And then we're gonna say if steal is true, value should be increased. Did that happen? It did happen. Okay, keep on playing. Why? No, this is right. And then when we emit the signal, this is for me. So it matches. We set the value. We overwrite it back to 1, and then we increase it. Interesting. This is player 2 node. Oh. Okay. I see what the problem is. The problem is when we do the effect to give it to everyone, it's overriding the one we're giving to ourselves because steal is now false. So in the steal, we just want to reorder this. So we emit the signal for everyone, and then we replace it with the apply buff specifically for the rogue. That'll fix it. And we'll just keep playing it. Now that'll work. It won't work for you right this second. Maybe it will work for you right this second. If you get the steal buff, it should absolutely work for you right now. So if you get the steal buff, it'll overwrite the one I gave you with your own, and then you'll have that value set up. So yeah, this should absolutely work for you. Okay, well it didn't, but that's fine. 31, I'm not dead yet. Not dead yet. B space E1, we got some damage. We're getting close. All right, we're getting close. A little bit of damage. That's not bueno. Are you dead? Oh, with a critical. God. Okay, yeah, you're dead. B space E1. Maybe I can. No, I got another failed steal. Okay, he's gonna kill me. We'll try it over again. Yep, and I'm dead. All right, we'll just load it right back up again. It'll send the message. There we go. And blah, 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 blah. Join. There we go. I'm in. Anyone else can join. You're welcome to. Hop in here. Have at. That was a bean. Just a whole bean. I am a whole bean. That's so mean to me. Why would you say that I'm a bean? There you go, Film. I'm a butterbean. If I could, I would be a butterbean. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Yeah, actually. All right, B space E1. Let's get that DPS buff. Or we can just fail our steals off the gate. Honestly, this is really nice. We're in a good spot here. All right, a little bit of damage, a lot of bit of damage. Walking in the house with a critical. I'll be back once I get dinner bought and such. Going to be 2-ish hours, maybe, might be earlier than that. We have about an hour and 10 minutes. If I check bedtime, yeah, we have an hour and 11 minutes left. So by that point, I won't be here anymore. But you are absolutely welcome to hop in here anytime, or watch the VOD back if you need. Or I will get with you this weekend on when a good time next week is for you and I to do a chat, okay? So I'm 100% down for that. Whatever the good time for you is, we can work something out. Still failed again. Okay, sure. We'll just keep failing steals. So the Rogue is a very RNG class. Most of what I wanted to talk about was figuring out visuals mostly, so it's all good. Okay. Yeah, I would love to to sit down and go over some ideas that I have in my head, kind of make them mesh with ideas that you have in your head, and make sure like we're both on the same page. Hellraiser, welcome in. I don't know why that didn't send a message. Do not know why that did not send a message. Oh, we got a breakpoint on this one, though. Okay, so I'm going to hit play. What we're looking for is for you to also have a sword above your head. And you do. Film, I don't want you to steal on your next turn. Just like I'm not going to steal here. So I'm going to A space E1 to get my triple hit. And then C space E1 to get the actual damage from the triple hit in. 43, 46, 46. Output 35 was the base damage. 43, which was increased from a DPS boost of 0.2. That's 35 times 1.2 is 42. Okay, so the DPS boost is working. All right, Film, it is your turn. Yeah, feel free to do a regular attack. We want to make sure that you're maintaining your DPS boost here. And it looks like you are. 45, 46, and 70. Nice critical. The 45 and 46 were the variable ranges of the damage added on top of the base 42. Because of course we're not checking what that value is after the range has been added. But congratulations on that 70 at the end too. That was really nice. Good hit. Okay, so now we're adding our damage values and holding them properly, and they're disappearing at the end of the turn, which is when I want them disappearing. So that's actually working really, really well. What we want to do now, we're going to remove invalid get index on Brawny Moss. On base dictionary. What does inventory look like right this second? Inventory, Brawny Moss is a reagent. It's a common reagent. Yeah, it's a common reagent. Brawny Moss. Am I fucking spelling this wrong? BRAWNYMOSS. How do you not have the get index for that? That's not what I want. Copy property. That's what I want. Paste property. Oh, that is no. That's not what I wanted. It's not what I was looking for. Okay. I'm curious. Reagents, common, Brawny Moss. Property path. I don't think the property path is what I want there either. No, that's not what I want. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why it's mad about this Brawny Moss, but we're just gonna pass. I don't want that to say Brawny Moss. I want it to be formatted better. But I guess we'll get there when we get there, right? But for now, I think we can skip the breakpoints. There we go, get a little bit of a heal. So we know that our DPS things are working. Now, what I wanted to do today was to have, when we steal, I don't want the apply buff to be called, which it kind of sucks because I just went through the whole hassle of doing all that. I don't want apply buff to be called until the player gets to the middle and triggers the hitbox. I think we have to set this train up a little bit better. Because right now, if we land the DPS buff or anything else, the icons appear immediately before the player makes their way over there. And we don't really want, see that right there. And we don't really want that to happen. We want the apply buff essentially to be called when the player gets here instead of like while they're sitting here. So I don't think it really matters if we beat this boss or beat this enemy. So I'm probably gonna close it because Film's already died. So like I said, this kind of sucks because you know what? This doesn't suck. All of this is fine. All of this is fine. Well, not all of it. Because what I was gonna say is turns false, otherwise returns true. So in the rogue, if steal damn. What I was hoping to have is in the steal animate, in this function right here. Right here, with the steal message, that's when we would call the steal function. Right before it, that's when it would show the proper information, and then the player would move back. Currently, that doesn't work though, because if it's a damaging attack, we can't call the function here. Okay, so let's take a look at the steal function. What in this do we need to know? We need to... We need to emit this signal and this function. We need to call the, we need to emit this signal and call this function if we're here. This just sets variables, so it doesn't have to happen at any specific time. This right here doesn't have to be set at a specific time. This is just a copy of that one. Potions. That I think we can still call when we want it. So we need to know if we are applying DPS buff. If we're applying a DPS buff, then we just don't want to do this. We can set up the steal message, but we don't want to do this here. We want to do it in the steal animate. So we have to hold those values somewhere. We have to, essentially we have to know what stolen thing is. Trying to see how we're gonna do that. If we come back true, I really don't want to make another variable that we just use as a placeholder to move information around. The easiest thing to do would be in steal animate to have it happen. We already have what the steal message is. Nice catch. Ooh, nice catch on the shuckle. There you go. Okay. Trying to figure out what the best way to do this is. Because essentially we just need this value. The rest of it's kind of not relevant. So let's see. Var rogue DPS buff. How does this work? It's float equals 0.0. I believe that's how that works. So then what we would do is in the steal function, we could actually cut this out and we can say rogue DPS buff equals stolen thing. Okay, and in our steal animate, we will say if success is false, then of course we had our steal failed. Otherwise, if rogue DPS buff is greater than 0.0, then we can do this. Rogue DPS buff. Rogue DPS buff. We can do that. This should, in theory, make it to where this doesn't happen until... Yeah, this should make it where this doesn't happen until the player gets to the middle, and then we emit the signal. What this also means is in check player, we're also going to make rogue DPS buff equals 0.0. So every time the turn starts, this variable will reset. Okay. We're gonna have to test that. F6. See if we can get it running. All right, we're in. Blah, 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 blah. And join. Now again, anyone that's here that's watching, you're absolutely welcome to join in. For those of you on YouTube, unfortunately, you cannot use chat commands to hop in. You will have to, you have to hop over to Twitch to be able to get into the game, but we are going to be opening up YouTube to that soon. I don't know how soon, but soon. But in the meantime, hop on over twitch.tv/Falinere. Come on in and say, hey, hopping into the game. Not until I help him fix that. Well, you aren't the one doing that. That's on our API side to be able to access information from YouTube. That has nothing to do with what you're doing, unless you're doing something that I don't think you're doing, and that's a completely different story. Okay, B space E1. Yeah. That's API stuff. The API has to be able to read information from YouTube and do something with it for the game, and currently it doesn't do any of that. Yeah. All right, so damn, it still did it. Okay. All right, I know how to fix this. I just didn't think I would need to. So we're going to go to Steel Animate. And we're gonna say tween callback self. Okay. Hold on just a second. Melee attack. That's a callback for the animation player. Okay. So what we'll do is in Steel Animate, we will say tween callback should be self, should be this, and then this, right? Oh, we're missing that. Mirror mask. Callback self. Oh, you're also missing one of those. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So this should work. Should. We'll see. Welcome in, Mirror Mask. All right, Hellraiser. It is your turn. So Mirror Mask so far. Oh, why did that? Oh, interesting. I can't do that. Well, shit. I thought I could. I thought that I could put that callback in an if statement, and I cannot. Maybe it's because I'm not doing emit signal. And one of these. Apply DPS buff, and we want to pass DPS rogue DPS buff true, and then delete the rest of this. If I did it like that, would it be happy? I'm curious if I'm doing this right, Casper. Because unfortunately I'm using tweens to set up the timing for when we get the DPS buff signal emitted. But I don't know if it's going to let me do a signal bus emit signal inside this callback like I'm doing now. I don't know. Alright, yeah, so the game is broken. We're gonna have to reload it. But welcome in, Mirror Mask. So, what we've been focusing on, I really don't like this music. This music is really throwing me off. Like, I don't like it at all. It's very hectic in my ears. So what we're working on is making it to where the DPS buff that the rogue gets applies to themselves, and that certain effects will count down and disappear at the end of your turn versus some of them counting down and disappearing at the beginning of your turn. So your DPS buffs will last until the end of your turn, at which point it will count down a duration, and if that duration is 0, it disappears. Versus like a bleed or a regen that at the beginning of your turn it will count down. Well, it'll do its effect and then count down, and if it's at 0 for its duration, then it disappears. So I want certain things to disappear at the beginning of the turn and certain things to disappear at the end of the turn, and we've done that. The way that I did it won't work. That's kind of what I figured. So we made it to where now certain things disappear at the beginning of the turn and certain at the end. We got that working. We have the rogue DPS buff applies to the rogue as well. Because the way I changed it, it would not apply to the rogue because they would get it, their turn would end and they'd immediately lose it. So we got that fixed. And now I'm trying to make it to where when the rogue moves, once they get to where they're going, then we pop up everyone's DPS buff, and then they move back. Because right now, you use the skill, it rolls to see if you got the DPS buff, it gives it to you, then you start moving, which is not visually how I want that to work. Tween callback, signal bus, and mix signal. Oh, I can do it that way. Okay, I didn't know I could do it that way. So signal bus outside of quotes, emit signal inside quotes, and then commas for all the stuff that we're adding into it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Casper. I know it's going to take you a second to get the message. Hold on just a second. Hey, I'm busy. Can you tell? He's over there scratching to the fucking Australia. Okay. You what? He wants to go see Jazz, exactly. We getting buffs, boys. That's right. I'm going to get boba. It's been a day. Holy shit. When I emit the signal, I'm emitting the signal apply buff. Is it going to add these to it, or is that another comma that I have to do? Self is the object, call the method on. So in this case, it's signal bus, not self. So I don't have to worry about that. That makes sense. I did not get paid today. I'm containing my rage. Mirror mask, holy shit. I would too. We would copy the, or not copy, but comma this, and then bracket this. So this is letting me do commas for like additional things. Am I supposed to do commas, or am I supposed to do like this is, and do it in an array, in a bind? Because it's letting me it's letting me post it both ways as code. The first one is wrong. Okay, so I do need to put that in brackets. Okay. So emit signal, team buff with DPS, rogue, all that stuff. Okay. I don't know if it's going to let me do this. B space E1, let's find out. Still failed, that's fine. We're gonna see if we can put this together. Commas are additional arguments. Okay. That's what I was hoping. Oh, Miramax said that they would be right back. But it should be in, okay. We'll do skip turn. Let the enemy go take their turn. And let's see if I can get a DPS buff. B space E1. Okay, that's a potion. We'll P2 that one, give it to Mirror Mask. There's the heal. Now, for some reason, I know y'all saw it. When I did the heal, the damage label started red and faded into green. But it should have been white anyway, because part of resetting the position of that damage label is resetting the colors. And it should have set those colors to white instead of the red that they were. Where's the damn reset position? Reset position for each damage label. Yeah, it should have set the color back to 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1. Why did it not set the values to all 1 when it should have? I don't understand that. Casper, what am I missing here that's making it do that? We'll do a skip turn to let the enemy take their doohickey turn. That was 30. Was that a critical? I think that was a critical. B space E1. Okay. So I'm also getting the same issue. Congratulations on your Master Ball. On the Sneasel. Okay, valid. Turn this music down just a touch, just a hair, if you will. I got it to accept Banishing Pod, I think. But now it says that there is not an index of brawny moss in our inventory. So reagents, common reagents, brawny moss. Am I accessing? I guess I'm accessing the information incorrectly. Let me actually go look. For reagents, inventory dot. Oh no, you're right. It's inventory.reagents.common. Ooh, that means I need to know. Hold on. Hold on. Reagents, common. Oh, shit. Because I have them separated by common, uncommon, and rare. Damn it. Yeah, because now it needs to know if we're looking in the common ones or not. All right, let me see. Reagents, common role, else. Hold on. Did I not finish this? Roll is Randy 10. If roll is less than 6, roll is Randy 4. Item roll. And reagents is this list. Reagents common versus... Oh, I did not finish this. I understand. Okay. Okay, so this just isn't done yet. If roll is less than 6, that means that we're getting a common item. So inventory.reagents.common item plus 1, that's fine. But if roll is not this, this would be else. Then we would say inventory dot reagents, and then it depends on what dungeon we're in. So if we're in the forest, mountain, cavern, village, or plains, which is going to mean our globals. So remote tree, global, dungeon. Okay. All right. I understand. So this needs to be capitalized. Mountain, cavern, village, plains. Okay, I understand. Otherwise, inventory reagents, globals dot dungeon. Oh, I didn't spell this right. Okay. Inventory reagents. Oh, I need to define what item is. Item equals reagents globals dot dungeon. That's fine. And then here it would be inventory reagents dot uncommon. Why do you not like this? Sure, whatever. Var item. Dot uncommon, because if we look at our stuff, we see reagents, uncommon, item. Okay, that's the problem. That's why we had the problem. Hellraiser asked me a question. So I don't like doing self-promo chats, but tomorrow is my birthday week stream. Do I have permission? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you absolutely have permission to self-promo here. Feel free to introduce yourself as a streamer. Talk about what it is you do, what it is you're planning on doing for the birthday week stream, and get people hyped about it. Absolutely. Have some more? I love you.
Say please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please. She's right. I could have said please. I didn't, and that's I did the thing wrong. I stole the brawny moss. Mirror Mask, are you here? Because I took a huge tangent right there trying to get reagents working properly. We're gonna see if we get that working. All right, I don't think Mirror Mask is here. Probably still out getting boba. Ooh, fantastic. Thank you for giving me that early. Ah, tasty. Okay, skip turn. Don't see any... I mean, I see an error, but it's not one I think we're too worried about. B space E1. Let's steal nothing. Not a damn thing. We're ain't gonna take nothing. What a butt. Exclamation mark. Skip turn. B space E1. I got a potion. I'm gonna heal myself. Because Mirror Mask has a lot of HP left. Alright, enemy goes, takes a little chunk. Okay, now I need to heal Mirror Mask if I get another one. A little bit of damage, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. I gotta skip turn again. Skip turn. Enemy goes. Ooh, Mirror Mask might die. Oh, Mirror Mask, how are you not dead? What is your health at? What would be down here? Turn order window, container, info window, P2, texture progress. Value is 2. Mirror Mask, you have 2 health left. I feel like if your health value is under a certain value, we should probably post a message to chat. In player animation on hit, if health bar dot value is less than or equal to, we'll say 7. We want to chat connection dot send chat, and we want to send percent s has is it percent n for number or percent I for integer? It's probably percent I for integer. Percent s has percent I health left. That's too low. And health bar is not equal to 0. Okay, so if health bar is less than or equal to 7, but not equal to 0, we want to send a chat message that they have this. And the first one is going to be, it's a game name? Mirror Mask is player node. This would probably be player underscore node, comma, health underscore bar dot value. Is that gonna work? Health bar dot value and player underscore node. Yeah, that should work. So on hit, if they have less than 7 health but not 0, we want to post that what the value is of their health that's left. Okay, B space E1. A little bit of damage. See if the enemy goes for... Oh, we're skipping again. Skip a turn. Yes. Skip turn. Damn, went for the Mirror Mask. Invalid operands object and int not equal to. Oh, it should be health bar dot value. I'm sorry. You are correct. Health bar dot value. All right, player 2 has died. Okay, B space E1. I got the Soothe Bloom, so we got that working. Assuming that right now, on node inventory for Soothe Bloom's a reagent. Soothe Bloom is marked at 1, so we got the Soothe Bloom. That's good. All right, B space E1. Go for it. We got the catalyst. That's fine. Actually, we can check the catalyst real fast. Did we die? No, but we also didn't get the message that we should have got. Catalyst, impure catalyst is at 3. We didn't get this message, and currently, if we look at player 1 texture progress, our value is at 4. So we know that this didn't work properly. Why didn't this work properly? Maybe it needs to reload. Or maybe that's not an integer. No, it would have to be, because we're doing comparisons that way. It would have to be an integer. It didn't give us our message, though, which kind of fucking sucks. All right, we're going to close and reopen. Maybe we changed too much. Maybe that's what it is. Blah, 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 join. Let's see what we can get here. Let's move this over here real fast. Save. Okay. All right, now let's see what happens if I get hit super low, but don't die. B space E1. We got our potion. We're gonna save it. Saving it doesn't do anything. We can't actually use our inventory. That's fine. B space E1. Do a little bit of damage. What you got? A little bit of damage. 20% DPS. Oh, it did it. Oh, Casper, it did it. It did the DPS number thing when it was supposed to. That's exciting. I'm gonna die. Please don't kill me. Okay. Well, that was exciting because it didn't get the DPS buff until the player got up to the enemy. This is gonna look really cool. We actually get like an animation that plays when we do steals. That's gonna be super fun. I don't want to. Let's go the timer and let's change this from 50 seconds to like 20. Save and load. Thank you for the help on that, Casper. That was fantastic. Blah, 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 join. So now we're just testing what happens when we get low health but don't die. And we could make it say anything less than 10. In fact, we probably should make it say less than 10. Not 120, please. Less than 10. Let's see what happens. No, film, dude, you are perfectly fine. Don't you even. Don't you even. You are perfectly fine. Sounds like you needed some rest. I need to know what's happening that we're not getting a message. What are we doing in Steel that does not involve sending a message? Nice upgrade to the Great Ball twice. Hell yeah. Steel message, steel message. For Catalyst, we're definitely upgrading steel message. For reagents, we're upgrading steel message. For potion. Yeah. What's happening that we aren't getting a steel message? That it's just not saying anything or doing anything. It's so weird. We'll have to figure that out. Need to get shut eye, but we'll keep PC on and shout at me if urgent. I'll likely hear. No, you are perfectly fine, dude. No worries at all. Go get some rest. For realsies. Oh, I got a potion. Save it? I don't think I want to use it. Ooh, okay, maybe I should have. That critical, ah, shit. Yeah, that critical is too good. Okay. All right. We'll close this. Let's go to our on hit. I need to know if this works. So we'll say if we're at 25 or less. Let's reload and get this part working. There we go. Blah, 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 blah. Join. Maybe we can get this to work. We should. I'd like for people to know when they're super low health. I'm on a roll most days, to be honest. I think I'm the only one who's committed to the Pokemon outside of maybe one other person I've seen in chat. I forget his name. Yeah, PT was going really hard on it. But PT's been really busy lately. So I'm not surprised that they're not here, which is like, it's perfectly fine. All right, so I got a reagent, which we're gonna need to fix the syntax on the reagents. Oof, just leading with that thick critical. Holy cow. All right, did a little bit of damage. Enemies do a lot of damage. I may have to come down those damage values just a little bit. Cause they come in hard. There you go, a little bit of damage. Coming to me, also with a critical of 31. We got the potion. I'll give this to you. The idea here is we get low enough in health that it sends a return message that somebody's gotten low without it crashing, I guess. Vanishing pod, very nice. 33, that was like 38, but it was 33. B-Space E1, do a little bit of damage. We are definitely not the DPS class when we're stealing. However, we make up for that shit when we do Assassin's Charge. Let's see, let's hope he hits you here. He did 28. How much health do you have? There's no way you have more than 25 right now. Remote tree. Layer 2, texture progress. Yeah, you have 22 health. Are we just not getting here? I need to know if we're hitting this. B-Space E1. Because if we've syntaxed the message incorrectly, then I need to know that. Because I could have sworn it was %I for integer. Could be wrong, though. But it not formatting that message properly could... I wonder if that would cause it to not send. I don't know. That would cause it to not send. 35 base damage, 41, 40, 38. Nice. Good triple hit. Okay, so we hit our breakpoint. Health bar dot value is how much? Texture progress dot value. Oh.
Full concentration.
Hey, Rav.
No horny breathing. First form. Bonk.
So because... Okay. Because of the way tweens work, we haven't applied the damage yet. Because that happens here. So... This should actually... I think I understand what's happening. I don't think this should be here at all. Health bar dot value. Okay, this it's gonna be messed up now. It's gonna be messed up. It's not gonna like me. Delete, paste this. There. I want it here. So this is the point where the damage has actually been taken, and we would post that message, because up here, yeah, health bar value 0, emit signal. Why is one of them passing update player list with player name and one's with game name? Is updating it with player node? Hold on. Update player list is going to trigger update player list, the script. Update player list is going to look at updated player list is P1, P2. And what is player name? Player name is player. Yeah, we need to be passing in game name. Okay, so that's wrong. So on hit should not be doing this because it's not necessary.
Hey, look!
Hey, look, I'm looking. BFam, good morning. Hi there. Hello, VFam. So this right here is what I want, and we're gonna play it. It's probably mad at me. It's probably very mad at me. Hellraiser, I think you died. But it's okay. What I'd like to see here, it thinks there's a breakpoint. We're going to play through it. So because we moved some code around, it's probably going to be really mad at me. P1. What we're checking here is to get a return message when our health value is low enough. Look at my health. Yeah, it's pretty red. It's pretty bad. Do a little bit of damage. Now we're probably not going to survive this hit, maybe. Ooh, not with that fucking critical though. Okay. All right. We'll have to close this and reopen. I'm going to reopen it. We're going to bring the timer back up to 35 seconds. Anyone that wants to participate, you're absolutely welcome to. What we're testing here is making sure that when a player is low health, that the Twitch chat will get a message about it, because sometimes it's hard to see exactly how low health a player is. Just wondering, has anyone here used both LastPass and 1Password? I currently use LastPass. I enjoy it. I've never used another password sharing or storing website. I'm not sure what you would call it, or program. But I use LastPass and I like it. I've not had any issues with it. All right, B space E1. Let's do some steals, get some inventory. We're gonna save this because using it's not gonna do anything. Why, what's up, VFam? What you got? Got the DPS boost, let's go. All right. Do a little bit of damage to me. I'm gonna go with the backstab here, since I have the DPS bonus. There we go. Okay. Unsupported format character in the operands. My work uses LastPass for business, but some of my coworkers have used 1Password and say it's a lot better. Interesting. Yeah, I've not even heard of 1Password, but I use LastPass for like all of my stuff. My wife and I both do. What's it gonna say when we do this? Nothing. Okay, so it doesn't like that. So is it %in for number? Because that would be weird. V for value, F for float? I don't know what it's looking for here. But we can do, can we please get, oh fuck. No, we're gonna die here. I was hoping we could get the, oh, is that just stuck up there? Hold on. Let me fix, I didn't realize that's been stuck up there like this whole time. Edit trigger, not edit triggers. Do run button. There we go. Where is, oh, it's this one. Okay, save. Okay, that's what that is. It is %i, okay, I thought so. Why is it getting mad at me that it doesn't know what %i? Or the actual, yeah, I could look in the actual documentation. I just don't know, like, Casper showed me how to do this, but I don't know what it's called, so I wouldn't really even know where to look in the Godot documentation, because I don't know what this is called. Oh. Then let's see if we can look up for something for string formatting. This is things I can call on strings. This is not what I want. Yeah, that's not what I want. You found it? Oh, that was incredibly fast of you. Example, %s is a placeholder. The format string %s how are you can easily be changed to hello world how are you. Notice the placeholder is in the middle of the string. Modifying it without format strings could be cumbersome. Define a format with placeholder s. Using the % operator, the placeholder is replaced with the desired value. Okay. %d for digit? Oh, I hate it. D for decimal integral. Expects integral, real, or number, but will be floored. Yeah, that's fine. All right, %d. That's I hate that. But that is specifically GDScript format strings. Okay. All right. We'll save that. And did I die? I failed. Okay, I did die. All right, F6, load it back up again. Let it post the message before I drag it, otherwise it won't do it. And join. Okay. Hold on, what else can we do in here? Just curious. We can do multiple placeholders as long as we do it in an array. Simple conversion string. A single Unicode character. We can do with C. Hexagonal number with lowercase letters. Decimal real number. Expects integral or real number. Interesting. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Let's go B space E1. It's me and you, V fam. And in fact, as a show of good faith, of solidarity, I will heal you. You didn't need it, but I healed you anyway. Yeah, VFam, if you do exclamation mark skills, it will tell you what your skills are. Exclamation mark skills. There you go. So your A skill is fire. You have targeted an enemy. You gain a fire stack, and you damage an enemy with a chance to burn. B skill is ice. Gives you an ice stack. Chance to freeze. And C skill is thunder. Gains a thunder stack. And the damage scales based on the party size. Nice critical on top of that. Hell yeah. All right, hit me for 23 on a critical. B space E1 for the steal. Steal failed. I will go fuck myself. Damn. All right, VFam. You gonna go for thunder again? Put up them thunder stacks. B space E1 for ice, I believe. Ice has a chance to freeze. Also hit you for a critical. B space E1. Go for the steal. Got the catalyst. I was hoping to get a heal. Honestly, though, I should have just gone Bard if I want the heals. I should have gone Bard. Yeah. Excuse me. VFam, it is your turn. Nice. Fireball. Okay. Very nice. Testing out all your skills, I see. 20% DPS boost. Let's go. VFam, do all the damage right now. You have a 1-turn 20% DPS buff. Hell yeah. Alright, so now I have a DPS buff. How much health do I have? Because I should have gotten... I have 34 health. Okay. So I thought I was low enough to get the prompt for how much health I have. We're going to go A space E1 for the prepping of the triple hit. C space E1 triple hit with DPS boost. 43, 47, and 44. We take those. Nice. Attempted the freeze. Didn't land, but still good. VFam, why do you still have a DPS buff? You shouldn't still have that. Player node 2, status effects, DPS of 1. Because jank. Yeah, no, that's exactly what it sounds like is jank. How do you have a 2-turn DPS buff? You know what? I don't want to ask questions. B space E1. Can we get a potion? No, we got a catalyst. I'm afraid one of us might die here. Genuinely afraid that one of us might die. Nice fireball, 44 damage. 28. Falinere has 6 health left. That's too low. Boom. That's what we were looking for. That's what we were looking for. So, because it's so hard to tell how much health a player might have left, when they reach a threshold, we want to announce how much that is left in chat. So, I currently have 6 health left. B space E1, can we get a potion? No, we do a little bit of damage. Okay, this is rough. All right, VFam. Nice. So, VFam, when it goes to your turn, you have 3 different stacking circles, right? The left stacking circle is fire, the middle stacking circle is ice, the right stacking circle is thunder. When you get your 3rd stack of thunder specifically, it triggers a different type of attack. It's not just thunder. It's called Lightning Barrage. And what it does is it hits, it does the regular damage scaling with party size, but it gets an extra hit on top of it, depending on how large the party is. So if you had at least 3 people, I think, in the party, it would have hit an extra time, along with some other stuff. You better not hit me an extra time. Nova Charter, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. How are you doing? I'm gonna die here. But I got a 6% EXP buff, so go me, and then I died. Well, ain't that some shit? Nova, I hope you're having a wonderful day. It's so good to see you, my friend. So let's go into our daily list and write down some stuff that we've done today to kind of wrap the stream up here. So all status effects can be reapplied regardless of their current duration. So if you have a status effect and something attempts to reapply it, whether it's a good or a negative, that effect can be reapplied. So if you're burning and it has 1 duration left on it and something hits you and applies burn, it will refresh that burn duration back up to its maximum. Same would be true if you're regened and someone gives you regen. It would just refresh the duration back up to whatever the maximum is, which is typically going to be 3 turns. Not bad. Saw you live over here. Yeah, I stream for both Twitch and YouTube 3 days a week. I should do some dedicated YouTube streams, but my setup is not what I want it to be for like a dedicated YouTube stream that we really haven't gone there yet. Okay, so Rogue got improvements, right? Let's talk about those improvements. Rogue Steel. We can do this better. There we go. Rogue Steel buff is now applied to all players for 1 turn, including the rogue. Buff animation plays when the player gets to the enemy. Also, separated beginning and end of turn buff countdowns for countdown processing function. I guess to clarify on that, this means that some buffs disappear at the beginning of the turn, and some buffs disappear at the end of the turn, and we have control on which ones are which. Okay. Question. There any reason you document it this way rather than an external file? It's mainly just for condensed location of stuff like this. I'd rather have it here with everything else than like a different file that I have to pull up, because while I'm like taking notes and stuff, I can go back and refresh my memory just by like flipping to a different script and then coming right back to it. So it helps me stay a little organized without having to open like an extra text document somewhere. I'd rather just, kind of store it here. But that's what we did today. So our effects can now be reapplied. Rogue got a ton of improvements. Steel buff now properly applies to all players for 1 turn. This includes the rogue. Buff animation plays when we get to the enemy. And we've separated out the beginning of the turn and the end of the turn countdowns for processing status effects. These 2 things right here are specifically what I wanted to get done today We just also did this part and this part. Chat message now posts when players are in, we're gonna say critical health. Yeah, it's not a good reason. This is just, I'm really bad at organization, and this helps me keep track of like what I am doing. I also have this little notes tab right here where I can keep notes of things I need to do in the future. But this helps me, like, if I want to go back and see what I've done in the last month, I can just go to this daily script and read through it real fast and say, okay, this is what I started the month on, this is what I ended the month on, or something like that. Do we need what? What you got? Do we need to know the critical health of every player? So different classes are going to have different maximum health values. The squishier glass cannon damage dealers are going to have a lower starting health, but I think that we still want to know when players are under like 20 health. 25 is probably too high. I just wanted to make sure we got something that would let us see it, but I would probably set it to 20. As in, do we need that message repeated for each player? That message would only get posted if that player takes damage and resulted in, it was still alive, but was at a critical value of health. Maybe I don't know what you're asking. Can you rephrase that so I understand? Because I feel like I don't understand what you're asking. Do we need to know the critical health on every player? As in, do we need that message repeated for each player? The way you're asking it, I think I'm answering it. If A was critical health, do we need to announce when it's B and C's turn that A has critical health? No, and it doesn't do that. It only makes that announcement if that player has taken damage, didn't die, but is in that critical health state. It's not really a state, but if they have currently 25 or less health after getting hit, but they're not at 0, it'll post that message. It won't post it every time it's somebody's turn. Or it shouldn't. I don't think it did. Did it? Did it only post once? Yeah. So it won't post when it's your turn. It only posts when you take damage. So essentially, it should only post once for every enemy that attacks in a given turn. At maximum. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so ideally these are clear enough at a glance of who is alive and who isn't, but sometimes it's really hard to tell. Mirror Mask was in here earlier with us, and she took a hit that left her at 2 health, and that pixel is so small that you just can't see it. So I had to go into it and look and see what the value of her health bar was, and it was at 2. So this is a way for us to just get a confirmation that someone essentially didn't die, which is why I think 25 is too high. I honestly, 15-ish or lower is probably where we want that announcement. It would draw attention to it and clarify when the health bar is so low that you can't see it. I have boba and I'm less ragey. Good. The other suggestion would be if you died, that it either grays out or overlays a large X. Yeah, that's more or less polished. That will apply when we get there. We're still, kind of adding in some of the more basic features, but I completely agree with you. And we've discussed doing a like a desaturation of the profile picture. it would be difficult for those profile pictures that are naturally desaturated anyway. But I can probably desaturate the whole node if possible, which is something we'll play with when we get there. But I'm 100% on that page with you. I completely agree. Anything we can do to visually indicate that a player is down, and we would do that with the player sprites. They would be in a downed animation. The character would be laying on the ground, whatever, and we would do something on this bar to indicate that player is also out of commission. All right, y'all, we're gonna wrap this up. We are going to find somebody to raid. And we're gonna call it a night. Player sprite might be enough, maybe, but the bar. I think because sometimes it's not super clear which one of these may apply to you, which is why we have a chat message that says it would say something like P1 Falinere has died. The chat message says something similar to that, so we know that player 1, which is my name spelled properly, I suppose. Player 1 Falinere has died. So the player 1 sprite would be down. Ideally, this would have something on it that indicates that player has died as well, and we get a chat message that announces it. So we get like the trifecta, if you will. But I want to make sure we cover all three of those. It's Falinere? Yeah, exactly. It's Falinere. All right. Ooh, I wonder what he's doing right now. Once we get through this ad, we'll take a look and see what some of these people are doing. Got a couple people that I'd like to do a raid on. Let's see. I really don't want to hop over into Dead by Daylight. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We are going to no Nova. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I haven't caught one of your streams in a while because my whole work schedule has completely changed since the summer, and I've not been able to sit in your chat. And I do apologize, and I miss your streams. So hopefully I'll be able to catch one soon. We are going to be raiding Scrap Metal. Scrap Metal is making an NES-inspired RPG. So we're talking like 8-bit, I think. I think it's 8-bit. But that's what he's working on. So let's go hop in there, see what he's got going on, and give him some love. He's currently using Unity, not Godot, but that's fine. We won't judge him for that. Hope to see you tomorrow for my birthday week stream. When are you going to be streaming, Hellraiser? Because you said that you were going to post something about it, and I haven't seen anything. I didn't know if you were talking about the Discord or not. Which, if you want to mention it in the Discord, you're welcome to do that too. But you didn't post anything in here in the chat. No, Nova, you. This is you. So yeah, we're gonna raid Scrap Metal. Typical run out. I enjoyed having y'all here. If you want to continue having these conversations outside of the stream, you can hop into the Discord, or we can continue any conversation or any topic that we've touched on here in the stream. You can follow me on Twitter, where I have discussions about things that are important to me, whether it's political or otherwise. It all gets posted there. For those of you on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. For those of you not on YouTube, hop over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button, because I make a lot of Sammy-related content that you might like, and it could help you. And as usual, if you want to financially support the stream, you can do so through Ko-fi for as little as $1 a month. I keep meaning to put more stuff on Ko-fi, and I haven't done that yet, but I will get some more stuff out there for you guys, I promise. So, /raid Scrap Metal. Oh god, I always question hitting these correctly. Invalid use. Oh, it's Scarp. Oh, well, I did type that incorrectly. Scrap Metal. There we go. All right, YouTube, thank you so much for being here, hanging out with us.